Yorkie love, puppy love. Oh, I love you. Hey guys, so today I'm sharing my Puppies Essential video. I have both of my fur babies. This is Bambi. So this is Nala. Nala is 5 years old. Nala is basically gonna come and go as she pleases. But I'm gonna share with you guys what I think are some of the essentials for anybody getting a new puppy. And also at the end of the video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what it was like introducing a new puppy to an older dog, because Nala is so territorial. Yeah, we thought it was going to be really hard, but I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. Right now, let's just go ahead and jump into my puppy essentials. The things that I do think you need immediately, especially if you're getting a puppy that's like this small or even younger, the first thing you definitely need is a soft blanket, because the puppies get super cold and they're gonna need something warm to sleep at night. You guys will probably think that Nala and Bambi are super spoiled, but they actually each have their own heated blanket. I got both of them off of Amazon. And I turn those on at night. I put it on low so that they stay really warm, because we do have tile throughout the entire home, so it could be a little bit cold. But of course you don't have to be that extreme, especially if your house doesn't get super cold at night. The first night that Bambi stayed with us, our heated blanket didn't arrive in time. So what I did is I filled up a water bottle with boiling hot water, and then I wrapped a warm towel around it and I put that in her crate. And this helped her sleep at night, because she was crying and she didn't want to sleep. And she was so tiny, like she couldn't sleep in our bed because we would have probably smushed her, honestly. So the safest place for her to sleep right now and at the time is in her crate. Which brings me to my second puppy essential. I would definitely say a crate. I know there's mixed feelings about crates. Some people think it's cruel. I personally don't think it's cruel. I think it gives them a safe space. It's also a way to crate train them, to potty train them. That's how we potty train Nala, as a matter of fact, was with a crate. I'll leave the crate that we have linked down below for you guys in case you want to check it out. The reason I like this one is because it has a little divider and you can expand it as a puppy grows, because the whole idea of a crate is for them to have just enough room for them to sleep. We did end up getting a day bed for her, so when we're out hanging out and she's not in her crate, she can go and hang out in her bed. So we got her this super cute teepee. I got it, where did I get it? I think it was like Petco. One of those pet stores. I think it was Petco, but it's just like a little teepee, and then you buy the bed separately. So we have it set up, and that's like where she likes to hang out during the daytime, because Nala is big enough to get on the sofa, but Bambi isn't. So Bambi just goes in her little bed, and it's so cute. I love that little teepee. Another essential that you definitely need as soon as you get your puppy are chew toys. And it's crazy. I totally forgot I didn't have any chew toys for her. I had lots of like plush little stuffed animal toys, but I didn't have any chew toys for her, because Nala never went through that stage where she had to chew on everything. She was such a good dog, or she was such a good puppy. She played with her plush toys and she never chewed furniture or shoes or anything. But Bambi, on the other hand, this little one likes to chew. If you guys remember that accent wall that we did in our living room and kitchen space, she chewed one of the corners. I try not to get too upset, because honestly, things can be replaced. And I don't want to traumatize our puppy by freaking out. And really, it was my fault for not having chew toys for her. So these are the ones that I personally recommend. And a lot of these things, especially when it comes to like toys and foods, it's going to be a lot of trial and error. You're just going to have to find what works for your dog. This is the one that she likes the most. This is only a bone, and it's like a nylon bone, but it's like flavored or scented like beef or something like that. She really likes this one, and it does keep her entertained for quite a while. Just look for anything like kind of made out of rubber or nylon, something that they won't be able to bite and chew all the way through, but they'll be able to play with it for a long time. I bought her some other ones, but honestly she doesn't play with them. This one is her favorite one. And then of course I bought her some other super cute toys. I actually think this one was from her bark box. That's like my favorite place to get toys for her. And they actually just got their bark box for this month, so if you guys want to see them unbox it, stay tuned to the end. I did get her a few other toys at Petco, which I will show you guys, like the little ice cream cone that you guys saw on my Instagram. Okay, so this next thing is kind of I got them for Nala. She ended up not using them, and then I ended up getting them for Bambi, and she doesn't use them either, but I guess they're always nice to have just in case. And that is puppy pads. I got this giant thing from HomeGoods. This one was $19.99 for this, so I think it's a really good price. I was using them at nighttime because I didn't want to have to go outside in the middle of the night when she did have to go potty, because she literally would wake up like 3 times a night. Not even exaggerating. So I would have a little pee pad like right by the back door, And so when she would wake up to go potty, I would take her to that pee pad, and it kind of like conditioned her to go towards the back door. But I don't use them anymore, but I definitely think that they're worth a try. Not every puppy is gonna wanna pee on them, so don't get frustrated if your puppy pees literally right next to the pee pad and refuses to pee on the pee pad. Obviously, dog food is crucial. They need to eat. But I would say, you know, find out what type of food they were already eating before you get them, because you definitely don't want to stop feeding them that cold turkey. You want to wean them into whatever new food you want them to eat. So she was eating, I'll insert a picture of the food that she was eating. And we pretty much kept her on it because she does really well. She's not a finicky eater. She eats like 4 times a day right now. We kind of just went through all the trial and error with Nala because she's such a picky eater, and we landed on Blue Buffalo chicken stew, and that is what she eats to this day. So here's another tip for you guys. If you find that your puppy is not wanting to eat and you've tried like so many dog foods, try changing out their plates. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just Yorkies or small breeds. Both Nala and Bambi are both picky about the type of bowls that they drink out of and eat out of. So Nala refuses to eat out of anything that isn't a plate. She can drink water out of anything. I haven't found her to be particularly picky about that. But Bambi wasn't drinking water, but it turns out she didn't like the bowl that we had for her. It was too big. So we got her something a little bit smaller and a little bit more shallow, and she started drinking out of it. So, you know, just play around with the different things that you put their food and water in, because it may be something as simple as that if they're not eating. So I have some of the Nala's favorite snacks, which we have been giving them to Bambi. She seems to really like them. So this one is the Smart Bone Dental. These are the ones to keep their breath fresh. They get these right after they get a bath because it freshens their breath. And then I also have some peanut butter ones, which I don't have the box to show you guys, but they look identical to these. They're just peanut butter flavor. These right here are Nala's favorite snacks. These are sweet potato fries, and they literally look and smell like real sweet potatoes. She goes nuts over these. And we get these like at PetSmart. They pretty much have them everywhere, I think. So those are like the 3 basic snacks that we always keep in our pantry for them. And then they just try out new snacks from the bark boxes that they get every month. And sometimes they like them, sometimes they don't. Okay, so next up are Leashes and Collars. So Bambi still is too tiny to wear this, but I got her this harness, which is a lot safer for smaller dogs. When they're puppies, I definitely recommend, if you want to take them for walks, do a harness, because they're going to be super, super curious, and they're going to want to run off, and you want to make sure you have a good grip on the leash so they don't run off on the street. And the last thing you want to do is like yank back on their necks. So yeah, this is the extra, extra small, and you guys can see it's still a little bit big for her. So she hasn't gone on walks yet. Nala does go on daily walks, and she alternates between a harness and a neck collar. She's pretty good about walks. Like, she knows not to go on the streets and stuff like that. Okay, so a lot of you guys want to know how often we bathe them. She gets like half baths pretty frequently because she's kind of makes a mess because she's still a puppy. So we'll just like wash her from the waist down whenever she makes a mess. We use Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo, which our vet said is completely fine. Nala's been using it since she was a puppy. This has worked for us. I'm not telling you guys that you have to go out and use baby shampoo on your dogs, but that's what we personally use. So a lot of you guys also wanted to know how to stop puppies from chewing on things. Basically, you have to correct them like as soon as you see them chewing on your things. Like, you can't just pick and choose what they're allowed to chew on. Let's say they start chewing on like an old sandal. You're like, okay, fine, whatever. But then you don't want them chewing on any of your other shoes. They can't differentiate between, oh, this is okay and that's not. So you just can't let them chew on any of your stuff. With Bambi, when she's doing something bad, I clap really loud to kind of like get startled, and then I give her her chew toy. And that kind of lets her know, like, okay, every time I touch this, I get startled, so let me not touch that. We were so worried at the beginning, like how they were gonna get along. So I read so many dog forums on how to introduce a new puppy, and everything that I read said to introduce them in neutral ground. So that's what we did. We went to go pick Bambi up, and then we were gonna go straight to the dog park, which I'm so glad we didn't because she didn't have her shots yet. And taking her to the dog park would have been like the worst thing ever because she's vulnerable to picking up diseases from other dogs. So instead, we called the vet, and the vet was able to see us right away. So we took her in to just get a checkup, make sure that she was healthy, and get like a fecal exam to make sure she didn't have any worms, because worms can be contagious to both dogs and humans. So that is actually really where they ended up meeting each other, was at the vet. So it was definitely neutral ground for both of them. Afterwards, we got home. Nala was not even interested in her. Like, Nala would look the other way. She would kind of like scoff at her, like, what is this thing? So Nala was not even interested in Bambi. She didn't even want to go up to her and sniff her, nothing. She's friendly with humans, with people, but she's not friendly with other dogs. And I think it's because we didn't socialize her early on, kind of like kids. You introduce them to other kids when they're really young. It's the same thing with dogs. We didn't do that with Nala, so she doesn't do very well around other dogs. So we just let them like hang out in the front yard. And then when we went inside, from everything that I read, it said always let the older dog go in first and then let the smaller dog walk in afterwards, but don't carry the small dog in. You have to let them walk in. I don't know why. I don't even know if this is the reason they get along, but I just followed everything I read, and that's exactly what we did. I think it has to do with like establishing who is the alpha, which is like super important to dogs apparently. And once they were inside, I made sure that Nala and Bambi both had their individual crates. They both had their individual bowls where they drink water and where they ate food. And anytime that I would give them a snack, I'd always give Nala a snack first and then Bambi. Anytime I'd let them out, I always let Nala out first and then Bambi. So I always let the oldest dog go first in everything. And I feel like that kind of reassures the older dog that they're still in charge and that they're still the alpha. But right around like the 2-week mark, something changed. I think Bambi was just old enough to play. So Bambi would like get her toy and they started playing tug of war, and it was so cute. And ever since then, they play together. I do have some general advice if you guys want to care what my opinion is. Based on having Nala for 5 years now, I find that the thing that has helped keep her so healthy is keeping up with her shots. I keep up with her heartworm medicine religiously. I just do it the first of the month, every month, so I don't forget. A lot of the times when dogs get sick, it's because of their teeth. You have to take really good care of their teeth. So aside from these little bones that help keep their teeth clean, we take her in to get a deep cleaning once a year. And we started doing that when she turned 2. I think that's pretty much everything that I have to share with you guys. I'll be down in the comment section just answering any questions that maybe I forgot to talk about in the video. So definitely leave any questions down there. I insert a clip of Nala and Bambi unboxing their bark box. I do have a little referral code that basically gets you a free box if you use my code, and we both get a free box. You don't have to use it, but if you do use the code Nala and Bambi, thank you in advance, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye. Okay. Oh, Bambi, this is your first bark box. Okay, let me show everybody. Oh, well, there she goes. But there's more, baby. So these are like the type of snacks that the box will come with. So sometimes they like them, sometimes they don't. Let's go ahead and give them one. You want one too, baby? And then here's like a little chew toy. This will probably be for Nala. So it actually came with 2 snacks, a little bone, and 3 toys. Here, let me take the tag off.